YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back to another reaction video, continuing Baby Metal. I don't know what that intro was, I just had to try to do it about 4 times, and every time I had to stop to cough and go again. Baby Metal, Karate, we're continuing on. We did Gimme Chocolate last time, completely on a whim, a suggestion from a friend, and the support was just ridiculous. It was insane. The amount of people that came and were supporting the video, you know, leaving it a like, leaving comments about other stuff to check out, explaining the band and what they're about. It was massively appreciated. So we're continuing on. I also very much enjoyed Gimme Chocolate, so I was also plenty motivated. We're doing Karate today. Now, I will say I had just a ridiculous amount, so many suggestions of songs to do. So if you're watching this and you want, there's a certain other song that you want to see, chances are I'll probably get to it eventually, but I can only do one at a time. I've got an eye on all the suggestions. I have a spreadsheet that things go in, so don't worry. I've got the suggestions. Karate came up probably the most, along with Road of Resistance live in Japan. So I'll probably do that one next, but I want to do just another studio version before we went into the live stuff. So we've got Karate, and I got told specifically that this has a really cool music video, so we're here with the music video. Without further ado, I imagine we're just going to enjoy the video for what it is, because I've opened the lyrics on Genius, and there isn't a single English word in this one. So that doesn't really help me because I speak English and a little bit of French. That's about it. So hopefully more one day. That's something I really want to do. I want to learn more languages. But anyway, that's besides the point. Karate, let's listen. Oh, this looks up my alley already. It's a bit eerie. Ooh, practice. It does hit though, you feel it. It's interesting because they do obviously they obviously have their own very distinct sound compared to a lot of metal, but it's interesting because I do hear like some I don't know what their influences are, to be honest, but I do hear some other like things that remind me of certain other artists. I'm hearing a little bit of almost Tool in there, in the riff and in the melodies, a little bit disjointed to me, which obviously Tool does quite well. I think they're doing quite well. I'm getting some Slipknot vibes from the sound, but also from the video. They've got masks and the white hooded people and all sorts of crazy stuff. So it is very. This is very metal. And people, I think a couple of people mentioned when they said Karate, that Karate is a good example of them doing metal, if that makes sense. Whereas, and although Gimme Chocolate had that riff throughout and some very metal melodies, it was still quite an accessible one. And some people said this is quite good for Baby Metal doing metal, and I agree with that. I think it's very metal. outfits quite a lot. Pause it because I have nothing to say, but I feel like it's hard to hit again.
ひたすらせいやそいや戦うんだ拳をもっと心をもっと全部研ぎ澄ましてまだまだせいやそいや戦うんだ悲しくなって立ち上がれなくなっても走れ
Oh, there we go. Excellent. This the white character. I need to meet him. I got a bad cough. This is why I haven't recorded for like 2 weeks, because this cough has been just plaguing me for the past 2 weeks. I finally could talk full sentences without coughing, but you know I've had to. Okay, like literally the past 2 weeks I couldn't say a full sentence without coughing until like yesterday, so that's why I've not recorded. Oh wow, they're on tour. They're in Manchester in February with the Apollo. Interesting. Yeah, the white characters were interesting because obviously a lot of the theme of the video was it was in like black and white, and they're obviously in their black outfits, and everything's quite dark, and you know the lighting's quite dark in the video, and then you've got these like white hooded figures in the white masks, and then at the end they break. So I don't know if there's some sort of metaphor there in like the light and the dark, but obviously, you know, maybe if I had any understanding of the lyrics, I could dive into that a little bit more. When it does translate them. Something about portable Shinto shrines at festivals. So there's a lot here. I don't know if there's anything that I can just like, oh, let's just quickly have a read and kind of understand what the whole thing's about. Karate has a courtesy, start with a bow and end with a bow. This is something important we value in our lives because we never forget courtesy and a feeling of gratitude wherever we go. That's what BABYMETAL said. So I guess that's kind of the gist of what the song is. I can only go into it so much, you know. I don't. It is what it is. But as far as musically, it gets you thinking, because it's one of those where it's like, I do wonder. And we said a little bit in the last video that like they're a bit of a point of contention. You know, some people might not. Well, a lot of people probably don't like them. It is what it is. But it's interesting that I almost wonder if it's just like. If they just had if a more conventional metal band did that song, you know, the same musically the same, but if it was a more conventional vocalist, would people be okay with it? Is it just because it sounds a little bit different from what people are used to? I don't know, but I like it. It breaks the mold a little bit. It kind of is they are who they are, and they love the genre and want to make that genre of music, so they've just done that with their own flair, you know. They've just done their own thing, they've put their own style on it, they've used their own vocals. Obviously it's not like they could use someone else's voice, you know what I mean, but it is what it is. And obviously the cultural aspect of it as well, it's got the different elements of the Japanese cultural aspect that show through in the music as well. So it kind of, I feel like it is what it is. It doesn't matter. And I'm one of these people. I already think that the kind of, when people get pissy about genre labels and subgenres and stuff, I'm not really bothered about that sort of thing. I don't get weighed down by it too much. But I do think that it's like, okay, there's a group of girls that like metal, and so they wanted to make metal themselves. So they did. They made metal, and it's their own flair, it's their own spin, it's got their own influences in it, both musically and culturally. And I think it's good. I think it is. it's good. The quality's there. That was a good song, you know. So and we won't dwell on this too much because I know I talked about it in the first Baby Metal video, and now I'm talking about it again. I won't bring it up every video, but you know, I've listened to 2 songs by them, so you've got to gauge this sort of thing. And so far, I'm like, yeah, dude, I've enjoyed it, and I'm actually excited to see. People said do Road of Resistance live in Japan, so I'll probably do that one next because I'm excited to see what they're like live. I just wanted to, you know, do at least one more song before I delved into that stuff. But yeah, it was a great song, and I think it speaks testaments that this will probably, from listening to the hook, this will probably get stuck in my head, which, considering it isn't in English and I don't understand a word they're saying, that's, you know, it speaks volumes about how good of a song it is that it can still get stuck in my head, how good of a melody, how well constructed the song is, that it can still be enjoyable and catchy, and I can still, like, you know, vibe along with it despite not knowing what they're saying. I think it speaks volumes about the level of music they're creating, and their talent as well. So we will leave it there. Like I said, I'll probably do Road to Resistance next. However, I've got just so many suggestions on the previous video, so absolutely feel free to give me more in the comments. As I said, I have a spreadsheet and it gets put in, and every time even if it's something that's already been suggested, it adds it on the counter, so it's the whole thing. So feel free to continue suggesting stuff, basically. Other than that, my name is Yeti. That's the wrong outro. That's my main outro. I need a cough again and end it before I have a coffee fit. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you all. The support was just, it blew me away. It was ridiculous. I think that was probably the fastest a video's broken the 1,000 view mark, and I'm pretty sure it's the fastest it's broken the 5,000 view mark. So yeah, the support, all the comments, all the people like explaining, you know, the band and who they are and what they do and that sort of thing was massively appreciated. So thank you very much. I'll see everyone in the next video. Peace out.